Hello, people. Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Anashar. Hope you all are doing good and safe wherever you are. So, in today's video, what I'm going to cover is how we're going to use a storage account. The stored procedure activity inside Azure Data Factory. So, for that, we need a SQL server. I have that already in place, and we're gonna create some stored procedure and uh, do some kind of update on one of the table. Uh, I will show you the stored procedure, and to trigger that stored procedure, I'm going to use Azure Data Factory, and inside that we're going to use stored procedure activity. I will show you how to do that. So let me start the screen share. I hope my screen is visible, and so to start with the video, what are the things we needed. So we need a Azure Data Factory service, and inside that we're going to create a pipeline, and inside the pipeline the activities we're going to use as a storage activity, the stored procedure activity. So along this side we need a linked service as well, which is for connecting to SQL server, and we need a SQL server with a database and a procedure, which we're gonna use here in the pipeline. So I have already created these resources inside the Azure portal. I will just show you them. So these are the resources that I have now. I have created a data factory, then I have a SQL server with a database. So I'm going to connect to this database by using SSMS, which I have done here. So this is my SQL server, and I have this database connected. You just need to install this SSMS, and you can just connect with this. You just need to provide the server name and the authentication. You need to pass the login ID and password. So you need to make sure you whitelist your IP address before you connecting to this SQL server. Then only you will be able to connect to the server, or else it will show a message saying that you won't be able. So keeping this ready, I have created a table, which is a temporary I just named it as temp table, so which will have the data related to products. I have product ID, product name, price, and the description, and I have a products table which will have these details like the ID, product ID, the product name, price, description, and the status. So I'm not going to use the relationship between these two tables. I'm not creating any kinds of keys like foreign key, primary key, identity columns. To keep it simple, I just created with very basic identity, very basic keys, and the data types. Then I have inserted some sample data here. So once I'm done with this, this is my table, how it looks. The table data is something like this. So that is inside my temp table. I have two records with the product ID 4 and 3. And inside my product table, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 records with all of them in active status. So what's my idea is I want to create a procedure which will mark this product status to be inactive when it is not present in the temp table. So for that, I have created this proc by using a left join. So it's again update products table when the product ID is null. So I have used left join for this. So I have this proc already created. So if we run this proc now, it will automatically inactivate these products which are not there in the temp table. So this is the proc that I have. So what the idea is, we need to use this proc inside the Azure Data Factory now. So let's go to the factory. Open Factory Studio. So inside this, we need to, okay, I have some pipelines already created. Let me just delete them and create them from the scratch. Well, I believe I have a linked service as well. So let me delete that as well. Publish. Okay, what is this says? Okay. Yes, all of these are deleted. Now my ADF service is completely empty. So let me refresh and show you that. So there is no linked services listed here, and we don't have any activities also. So we're going to create the first linked service for the SQL Server. So we can come here and click this and search for SQL. So this is my Azure SQL database. Continue. I'm going to put the linked service name as Azure SQL database ls linked service. Then we need to select the connection string here. So you can just select the server name, then the database. So I selected them, and you need to pass the username. So I'm going to pass the username. Okay, here we have an option called Azure Key Vault as well, where you can store your connection strings, or else if you want to store this password alone in the connection string and you want to use that in this, you can use the Azure Key Vault related linked service and link that data here. So how to do that? I have created a video for this as well. I will add that link in the description so that you will understand how to secure your passwords, and if you don't want to have them on this linked service. So that's all for now, and let's just test this out. So the connection says successful. If this connection is failed, that means this IP address is not whitelisted for this data factory. Then what you can do is you can just go to your server, then show firewall, and you can just enable this to S, which will means all the Azure services will be able to be access this SQL Server without whitelisting your IP address. So I just enabled this before this demo. So this is yes now. So the connection is successful. Let's just create this linked service. Yeah, the linked service is ready. So we're going to create a pipeline now. And inside the pipeline, we're going to use a stored procedure activity, which you will find it under general. So this is the proc activity. So we're gonna go to settings now and select the linked service, and this will load all your stored procedures. So I will have my name listed here, which is update product inventory. So I'm going to select that. And if you want to pass any kind of parameters to this, let's say your procedure has parameters, you can add them here, or else you can leave this and you can just publish this. So this will publish my pipeline. So once I have this pipeline ready, I can trigger it manually and show you how we're gonna see the output as well. So this is published now. Now in the monitor section, I don't have, okay, I have this, which are earlier ones. So you can just ignore them for now. Let me trigger this now. Before triggering, I would like to show you the data once again. So when you just run this select query on the temporary table, temp table and the product table, all the states are active. And when I trigger it now, and so the trigger will be started, and you can just go to monitor section. So this will show you the pipeline is in running state. It will just take, okay, it just took 10 seconds. So once this is done, you will be able to see the status to be succeeded. And here you will see the some JSON response coming out from the activity. So once this is done, so let's just check out if the proc has really updated that one or not. So when you just refresh this, so here you can see the products are in inactive state now. So this is the idea. So you can actually use this stored procedure activity to call a proc, or else what you can do is there is one more thing called a lookup as well. So you can just call this, and inside the settings you can call the data set. So for this, you can call, actually what you can do with this lookup is you can write a query on the table, or else if you want to call a stored procedure, you can directly call that, or if you want to write a query, you can write that. So for that, you need a data set first. So I'm going to create a data set. So I need a data set related to SQL Server. So SQL Server, continue, and this is Azure SQL DS, which is data set, and I'm going to select the linked service. So this will select linked service. So we're not going to select any table now because we're going to call a stored procedure. So let's just create this. So your data set will be called here. And now if you look at the settings, you have an option to use a table, or else you can write a query here, or else you can call a stored procedure. So I'm going to use the stored procedure option, and it's gonna again list that list here. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to publish this. So in the publish, you will be able to see the pipeline is edited and the data set is added here. So let's just publish this. Meanwhile, I will just, what I will do is I will update this data back again. So what I gonna do is update products set product status equal to active. This is just to show you again how the proc going to be run when I call this lookup activity. So right now you are seeing all the data again in active status. So this is still publishing. Okay, so the publication is completed. So let's just run this now. Trigger this with the latest published configurations. Click OK. Then if you go to monitor section, you will be able to see. Oh, it says it's in fail. So let's see the reason for the failure. So it says failure happened on the source side. Stored procedure is not valid. It could be caused by, let's just maximize this and see what is the error. The specific stored procedure is not valid. It could be caused by the stored procedure doesn't return any data. Invalid stored procedure. Okay, let me check it out again. Okay, everything is correct. Let me check the reason for failure. I believe this lookup generally look for some data in the output. That is why it is causing this issue. Let me check that again. If it failed this time also, okay, so this is failing. So this means let's just look at the documentation. Lookup in Azure Data Factory. Okay, lookup can retrieve a data set from any of these data source supported by ADF and Synapse pipeline. Okay. It can return up to 5,000 rows, which is fine. The longest duration is 24 hours. That is fine. The data set that is supported, it has different data sets. Fine. Okay. Okay, so there is something called first row only. It's set to false. Okay. Okay, let's see. We have an option to see if we can skip the output if we don't have any output. Okay, I don't see any kind of possibility that is given by Microsoft here to disable that. Okay, what I will do is, let me just check if I have any other proc that will return some kind of data. So if I go to stored procedures, and I have one more procedure for get products data. So do I have tables for that? Let me try to run this first and see. Okay, so this is expecting something. So let me show you with this proc. Okay, so I have one more table which is sample data. So let me pull out that. So select star from sample data. So this table has some data related to again products, some transaction with 15 records. And I have a procedure which will actually pull this data. So to look into this, what this proc gonna do, I can just use this SPL text and run this. So this will give me the description or else what is inside the proc. So what this proc gonna do is it is just taking @city as a parameter, and it just listing all the data from the sample table where the list we provide in the parameter. So we're gonna call this now. So let's see how it works. And to show that, let me just select the data first. So if you look at the data, I have everything. So inside city, if I go for New York, I have 2 records. So let me just use this New York as the city as a parameter. So I can select this as a get product data and input parameters. So, oh, sorry, import parameters. So this will list the parameters that it is expecting. So city is one thing. So I'm going to pass the value so that I will get the let me just update this proc first. Okay, so I have this proc, right? What I'm going to see is I would like to see the count of products that are available in the city. So let's just do this. So I have altered this and I have saved this, and I'm passing the New York as my city. So let's just publish this, and we're gonna trigger this again. So one challenge I noticed while using this stored procedure activity is if you want to return a set of data, it is not returning that data. So that is one challenge that we are facing today with stored procedure activity or this lookup activity. So when you call this stored procedure, it will return some kind of data set. It can be of like 1,000 records or something like that, but you will not be able to see that in the output. You will see only the first row in the output. So let's just trigger this, click OK, and let's see. It's still running. Okay, so this is successful. Now when we go inside and look at this data, so this says 2, which means the 2 is my select count of star. So with the New York, I have 2 records, so that is why we are seeing that 2 in the output. So this is how you can call your stored procedure by using this stored procedure activity, or else you can use lookup activity. So what I'm going to do is in my next video, my plan is to copy some data from one blob to SQL Server, and from that I'm going to call this store procedure activity. Then I will just trigger a function app which will send out some mail about the activity has been done or not. So that is my further video that I am planning to create. So hope you all like my content. So that's what I have for today. Hope you all enjoy the content. If you have any questions, or if you want some more information from my end, or if you want to have if you have some kind of feedbacks, please share them in the comment section. I will be happy to help you out. And I request you, please subscribe to the channel, and just hit that notification icon, so that you will be able to get notifications whenever I push my new videos. And please like and share this content, so that it will be useful to others and to me as well. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much. I will be back again with a new content. Thank you so much. Bye.